Hey guys, welcome back to another Underground Virtuosos video. My name is Paul. I'm a violin viola teacher located here in San Diego, California. So today's topic is about how to play without right hand tension. So specifically your bow hand. The right hand tension is something that happens to all of us when we practice, difficult pieces, hard passages. It also happens when we try to produce a bigger sound. Sometimes we might be confusing the idea of producing a big sound from the weight of our arm, our wrist, versus squeezing, tensing up, and that sometimes gives us a false impression of we're playing a big sound. So we're going to talk about that. And I'll give you guys one exercise and just a couple suggestions to get you going on that, and then you will be able to apply it into your own piece when you're practicing, and that's the goal. So let's get started. The first thing is I'm going to ask you a question. Yes, I'm going to ask you a question. What holds your bow when you are playing your instrument? So what holds your bow when you're playing violin or viola? I'll give you 5 seconds. All right, so if you thought to yourself, fingers, okay, on my hand, my wrist, my arm, those are all correct answers, but there's one answer that I'm looking for. Your instrument, your violin, your viola, your instrument. Oh, some of you are probably like, oh, that's right, my instrument. Why didn't I think of that? And why is this important? So let's get into it, yeah? When we go into playing position, and sometimes we set our bow down, but our fingers are still tense because we are holding our bow and we might be waving it around, we might be lifting or something, and we're still tense. And so when we set it down, and if we don't let go of that tension, then it's just squeezing. And we try to play big sound, then we're just going to squeeze harder. And that sometimes is what I'm talking about when it gives a false impression of us actually trying to produce a big sound, but you're not really actually trying to produce a big sound. You're just tensing up really hard, So what holds your bow when you're playing your instrument? Your instrument. Yeah. So a good way to understand what that means is place your bow in the middle area, because this is going to be a lot easier to do what we're about to do. So if you have your violin, viola, and your bow, and you would like to try it, please go grab it. So you're going to place your bow here in the middle. And all I'm going to ask you to do is lift off your index finger. Lift off your ring finger. And then lift off your pinky. So what are you left with? Your thumb and your middle finger. Now, why is this important? I'm trying to show you that it doesn't take a lot of effort to hold our bow when our bow is on the string being held, in this case, by the violin. See, I only need my thumb and my middle finger to keep it in place. I mean, I can switch between the middle finger to a different finger. I can change it to the index finger. I can change it to the ring finger. And remember our bow hold exercise? The little test at the end, I can also change it to the pinky. Right? Of course, the thumb stays there, but I'm trying to show you that it doesn't take a lot of effort because the violin bow or the viola bow is on the string. Right? So that's the first understanding, and it's very important. Such a small little detail, but it's very important. You will notice this. I urge you right now, go take out your instrument and practice, what you're practicing, something difficult maybe. And what I want you to pay attention to is when you go into playing position and you're about to play your piece, what's happening in your right hand? Are you still tense in the way you're holding it? Are you still squeezing it? Or are you letting go all of that tension? Yeah, and allowing the instrument to carry the bow for you. Right? To carry the bow for you. So that's the first idea and perspective. Hopefully that, you know, clicked with some of you, and maybe that will change how you play and how you perceive um, how to control your bow, because half of it is held by your instrument, right? Okay. Now, number two, we're gonna actually do an exercise now. We're gonna go and use the bow, and we'll play, but you don't need to play anything fancy, so just bear with me. What we're gonna do is we're gonna play starting on open D, and I'm just gonna play you a 1 octave D scale. So I'm gonna go from this D, and I'm gonna go all the way up to that D right there. Okay, just 1 octave for this exercise. What you're gonna do is you're gonna start kind of your balance point, or a little bit higher than your balance point. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna go to the upper half here. Don't go all the way to the tip, okay? And please don't start here at the front. For this exercise, it's gonna be easier if you're just in the middle. Now what's gonna happen is you're gonna play a bow. You're gonna start the bow, and after you start the bow, you're gonna tap your index finger. You're gonna tap it 4 times. After 4 times, you'll change bow and you'll play up bow, and this time you will tap your middle finger. Okay, and then after that, your next down bow, you're gonna tap your ring finger. So you start the stroke and then you tap your ring finger. And then the next one, you're gonna start the stroke and you're gonna tap your pinky. Okay, now remember, start the stroke first, then tap the finger. Don't try to tap and change the bow at the same time, because you might lose your bow if you're not comfortable with it. It's a lot easier to start it and then to tap your finger after. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So I'm starting on open D, and now the first finger I will tap is my index finger. Okay, so that's the exercise, essentially, what I just demonstrated. A couple things to remember, okay? Put your bow on the string, start the stroke, and then the tap. Okay, don't try to tap and change at the same time. And last but not least, your sound might not be the biggest. And that's okay. It might be a little bit shaky. That's okay. What you're trying to do right now is just trying to understand that your fingers are capable of relaxing even though you are playing and you're moving your bow. Okay, that's important to understand. Okay, and then after that, you know, you can try and go and play your own music. You can try and play your piece that you're working on, and you can test it out. You can see, oh, can you sense your fingers relaxing, even though you might be playing something, you know, fortissimo dynamic? Are you still relaxed? That's the question. Okay. And my last little suggestion for you is pull, not push. And this is probably something that you will hear me talk about in future videos. Pull, not push. And what does that mean? Well, if you look back into one of our videos that I talked about how the instrument makes sound, our instrument vibrates, right? It needs vibration in order to create sound. And if we pull our string, you know, we think about pulling, it's going to give us more vibration, more sound. But if you think about pushing down, pushing into the instrument, what's that going to do? It's not going to really do anything. If anything, it's going to take away some of the vibration because of how much you're pressing, how much you're pushing in. Okay, so the idea is pull, not push. You can try this on something that you're working on, a difficult passage that you're working on. If you are playing a concerto, if you're playing a sonata, a caprice, Paganini, something that you're working on, go and try it. Pull, not push. The understanding of that is when you start playing, you're thinking about pulling, and in a way that basically your bow will be moving enough that the string will keep its vibration. What we call the sound will keep spinning, and it's not going to be stuck and static and flat sounding. Yeah, you don't want that. That's when you're pushing, or the pressure or the weight is too much for the movement of the bow, the speed of the bow. So pull, not push. All right. So let's go back to revisit the 3 topics that we talked about today. Okay, the first one, what holds the bow when you're playing your instrument. Number 2, relaxing your fingers. A couple exercises to help you with that. The most important thing is you are observing and you are able to stay relaxed even though you are working on your pieces, working on your music. Okay, and last but not least, pull, not push. Okay, pull for sound. All right, so that's it for this video, to get you a little bit more free in your right hand, the different ideas, different perspectives. I hope that's helped you. Let me know in the comments if that has helped you to perform your piece that you're working on better. Maybe comment below your piece that you're working on and how it has helped you. So if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you would like to be notified when a new video comes out, please hit the subscribe button and also hit the bell button. I look forward to making more videos for you guys. And as always, thank you for watching.